back, everybody, to Pod of Thrones. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer.
And we have Kevin!
Kevin!
Yay! I'm back.
The Loremaster is finally back. Kevin, it feels like it's been forever, but it's really been maybe a few weeks.
Yes.
I think we talked to you just before we went to Comic-Con. But then, or no, right before the season began, I guess. But then, yeah, things kind of fell apart on us, Kevin. We got so friggin' busy just preparing for Comic-Con, and then at Comic-Con, and all our shit got stolen at Comic-Con, and then we got back, and
Post-pairing.
oh god, just all the trying to get all the things online. I'm sorry,
You did a great
Kevin,
job.
but we've missed you.
I missed you guys.
Aw.
See, but I get to hear you guys.
Yeah, you should start your own podcast too, so that we can listen to you when we're not all together.
Oh.
Do you have enough podcasts you're already listening to?
Actually, no. Quite a few of them. Like, I found a lot of podcasts on Reddit over the last year or two, or however long I've been looking. And some great shows, and some of them are still going strong, but some of them have just faded away. Like, hey, Pod of Thrones listeners, we did that one a long time ago with the guys from Volcano Bake Meat. They did a Pod Libs with us.
Uh-huh.
And I really loved that show. It was like deep conversations about video games that were just really interesting to me. And they have stopped broadcasting. And I'm sad.
Well, maybe their wives
They just vanished. They were all like in their early 20s.
wanted them to be around.
Well, the couple that was on our show was a couple. They were husband and wife.
Yeah, they stopped? That was
That
Volcano
whole-
Bake Meat.
Yeah, but there were three other people
That's
on the
right.
show.
Oh, I didn't.
I miss those guys. It was a good show.
Everybody gets busy.
So I'm just saying, I can always use more. If you feel like doing one, Kevin, I'll tell you what we use for a setup.
Well, I was an unexpected guest on the podcast the other day.
You were? You're cheating on us?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I was talking with my friend, and his buddy does like a comic book podcast, and we were talking on Discord, and he just started saying, "Oh, I'm gonna record this," and started recording our discussion about Marvel movies.
Cool.
Oh, well, okay. So we don't do comic books, really. We do Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But that's over on the
Yeah.
other, Kid for Weekend stuff. So I think we can forgive Kevin. If he does another
Yep.
Game of Thrones or Westworld kind of thing without us, then might have to go to like a...
Oh no,
like
I don't
a
really
family
do comic books
therapist.
that much either, but I got sucked in.
All right. Okay.
Do you want to plug that? Do you want everyone to go hear you on that podcast?
Yes,
Oh,
but
no, it's
what's the
okay.
name of it? Like, what is the name?
I don't remember right now.
Oh, come on.
Whatever. Okay, so Kevin, we are not going to any more conventions for a while, so I think we should commit here on the air. There's going to be a midweek podcast every week until the season's over at least, and probably some after that for at least a couple more weeks. So you're going to come back to us with that podcast, all right?
Yes. There's so much going
We
on.
want to hear it. Should
It's going so fast.
I know. Before we get started in the show, we should say, because this is going out Thursday night, and by that time, we will have then picked winners for our prize drawing. So, congratulations to the winners. I wasn't going to read all their names on the air because there's so many prizes.
Maybe people want to hear their names.
But I don't want to give out people's like last names. I mean, if I just say like congratulations, Greg, then Greg doesn't know
Greg
which Greg
will
it is.
know.
Should I do that? All right.
I don't know. What do you think, Kevin?
I think you should do it Jeff's way.
I'll put names. I'll put first names or maybe like a last initial. I'll do that on the website, like under all the prizes. I'll say like,
Okay.
congratulations, Greg. Yay, Greg. So we'll do that.
Okay.
But
But
then
we'll notify people by email.
Oh, but plus, yeah, I got to contact the people. And if I have any problems, like if someone didn't like follow us, so I can't direct message them on Twitter or something, then that's a real problem too. I'll try to get a hold of them through regular like tweets. But if that all gets lost in the shuffle, I might have to draw a backup winner.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Something like that. All right.
Exciting times.
Yes. Oh, and hey, podofthrones.com/shirts. Anyone that hasn't gone there yet should go take a look.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So, it's an awesome shirt. All right, down to business. Game of Thrones. Should we do it?
Yeah,
Ready?
let's
Yes.
do it.
All right. We're 3 episodes in, you guys. How did this happen?
Isn't it only 2?
No. No, last
That was
night.
third?
We're recording this on Monday, so last night was episode 3 of the season out of 7.
Oh my god.
I know.
It's almost over. It's half over.
We've been so busy, it's just gone in a blink of an eye, and now, we're almost done already. That sucks.
Stuff is just happening.
Can you believe this? Can you believe this episode, Kevin?
The pacing.
I cannot believe this episode.
What did you think of it?
Well, first let me tell you congratulations on you knowing something Jeff did not know.
What?
And that was the callback to Bronn about impregnating the castle.
Was it Bronn? What was he talking
It
about?
was Casterly Rock.
He was talking about the Eyrie when they
Oh, the
first met
Eyrie.
in season 1.
The Eyrie.
When they were coming up to the Eyrie, and he said it was, and Tyrion said it was impregnable, and then Bronn said,
"Oh my
give
god,
me 10 good, yeah."
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but Jennifer set you straight saying it was Bronn.
Yeah. Good job, babe.
That's right.
I thought she was right. I just couldn't think of where or when.
The Eyrie.
But, wow,
and I'm a
season
little
1.
disappointed in you not remembering Howland Reed.
Okay. All right, well, you texted me
know.
about that this morning, so let's address that because a lot of people are probably like, yeah, Jeff's dumb, but some people might not know what you're talking about. Do you know what he's talking about, babe?
Please explain.
Kevin,
All
take
right,
it away.
So you guys were talking yesterday that Bran's the only person alive who knows what that Jon is a Targaryen.
Right?
Well, we did throw in the caveat of Wyla.
Right, Wyla, who was, I guess, the wet nurse is what you called her. No, but Howland Reed knows because he was at the battle with Ned Stark. He's the one who stabbed Sir Arthur Dayne in the neck, remember?
He was the other survivor at the Tower of Joy.
It was him and Ned were survivors when they went up and found Ilaria having the baby.
Well, but I was trying to defend myself, and it was a pretty weak defense, but I was saying we didn't actually see Howland go into the tower.
Right, but you think he picked up the baby? I meant Lyanna when I said
Well, yeah,
that.
I mean,
you
maybe...
think he picked up the baby? You think he picked up the baby, walked the baby downstairs, like, oh yeah, this is mine.
He hid it in his
like,
little
sure,
satchel.
No problem.
Well, maybe Ned stayed up in the tower for 9 months. And Howland just hung out.
And then he came down with a 9-month-old baby.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Damn it. Foiled again.
Howland is Mira and Jojen's dad.
Right.
Yes, and Mira is with Bran.
But Howland's dead, right?
No, it's
Howland's
just
alive.
that we've never seen him.
Why the hell is he letting his kids run all over the country?
Well, I told you about them. They live on a floating castle in the middle of the swamps.
It's a swamp castle, yeah. They eat a lot of frogs.
Ew.
They are frog eaters.
Gross.
They should have had French accents.
Well, that
Yes,
would
but
make
you
him
haven't seen
more.
Howland Reed other than at that battle.
Yeah, we have no idea what he looks like in present day, how he's aged, what famous actor they'll stunt cast to play him.
Right, a lot of people in the books, there's a theory that Howland Reed is actually the High Sparrow. That was a theory that was going, but now that the High Sparrow is dead in the show, it probably put that to rest.
Yeah, I've heard that theory, and I don't really understand why. But
Because he's this prominent figure that comes from nowhere, and you know that he knows something about Jon Snow that no one else does.
He was
At
a
least you assume
cobbler.
he does.
The High Sparrow was a cobbler.
Well, he said he was a cobbler.
He said he was a cobbler.
Is that a song?
I don't know.
Like a Journey
See,
song?
this show has moved so far past the books now that it's hard sometimes to parse out what has happened in the books and what has happened in the show.
Right.
So, for example, Benjen Stark being cold hands is something that George R. R. Martin said definitely not true, but then the show goes and makes it true.
Yeah, but don't you think I think I knew about that, but I thought the evidence backing up that Cold Hands was really Benjen was pretty strong, and George was probably just kind of fucking with you.
Well, he did that. It's like you have to look in the editor's notes of the story. Like the editor said, "Is this Benjen?" And George R. R. Martin's like, "No," type stuff.
All right.
So it's not like an interview or something where he was messing with someone. He was telling his editor to know that's not Benjen. Also, Dany being fireproof is something that George R. R. Martin has said, no, that's not true. It was a one-time magic thing, but then the show goes and makes it true again. So who knows where it goes? But it's moved on so far past, it's not even funny. It's so hard now. They're just two separate stories, and people just have to accept that because, for example, yesterday people were like, well, Castle Rock looked terrible. It should have been this and this and this. It's like, you got to understand, they're now telling a story in a best way possible. They're showing Castle Rock for 5 minutes on screen. They probably didn't spend that much money on it.
5 minutes is generous.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They're not going to go out and spend a lot of money to make Castle Rock look as, awesome as it is.
Well, and they showed Highgarden, and I was like, is that Casterly Rock? But then Olenna was there, so I was like, oh, I guess that's Highgarden. Because who could tell the difference at the, we're watching things, we're trying to take it all in. I'm not going to absorb all the details right away, and I don't have time to watch the show over and over and over again, on the same day. We'll get there.
And I want to point out something else that's like bugging me. People are complaining about how bad Dany is at this fighting stuff. She had all these people, and she split them up, and, it's like the plan was good. She is just... You're meeting. Remember the first episode, or was it the second? It was the first episode. I don't know where they. Was it the first? Okay, where they get to Randall Tarley, and Jamie has to talk Randall Tarley into joining them. Okay, that was a very important scene because Randall Tarley is probably the most in the series alive now, the best general alive. So he knows a lot more about war than Dany does, than Tyrion does, and stuff like that. So he is gonna. So with him on the side, Cersei is going to have like the best general. So with her doing these type of things, she's probably listening to Randall Tarley, who they made it a point of Jamie saying, "Hey, come be on our side."
Yeah, and we saw that, but we never actually saw him accept. But then we did see him riding into Highgarden.
Yeah.
So it would have been nice if we could have gotten even a 2-minute scene showing him maybe helping map out a battle strategy somewhere along the line, so that you kind of know.
Well, they don't have that much time. They packed a lot into this episode.
But they
did.
You guys figured it out. That's all they were hoping for.
I mean, it's HBO.
Figure it out, people.
It's HBO, so they don't have to adhere to certain, you have to be done with your show by 7 o'clock at night. And they chose to go with 7 episodes, even though the show's immensely popular, which means they're getting subscribers off of it. They're selling ass loads of merch.
Everybody
Money's being
knows
made.
if you make it harder to get and less, then it's worth more.
I completely agree, but if we're going to wind up losing some important things that are confusing people...
You got it.
Well, I got it because we're talking it out, but most people don't have their own podcast. And if I had to guess...
They should. That's why they should listen to yours.
Well, they should. 10 million people are watching Game of Thrones. We do not quite have those numbers, but we should. We should have those numbers, without question.
So, anyways, what you're seeing right now is experience beating the talent and the skill. The experience beating out right now. Because Dany is, losing this war terribly.
She is, but she hasn't unloaded the Dothraki yet.
Yeah, but she's has her Unsullied stuck in a castle. She's already lost the 3 Westeros families that she had.
Yeah, that's fucked
She lost all of her food supply. I mean, she is in a bad situation, which is kind of funny because remember one of the complaints about the first episode was she just gets to Dragonstone with no problem. Why doesn't they have a force there or something? Well, now she's trapped in Dragonstone with no food coming in, so that might have been a plan of theirs all along. Let her get to Dragonstone. We'll isolate her from the rest of the continent that way.
Can you not march out of Dragonstone?
Dragonstone is kind of an island.
I thought it was on land, but maybe a rocky, awful part of land. Is it actually an island? Huh. I can't really look at a map.
It's it's in a peninsula at least.
I guess if it's that hard to get out of Dragonstone, that would explain why.
Well, I've seen different maps of Westeros, and it's just because he's never really released one, but I'm pretty sure it's an island.
Okay, well.
Harry.
All right, so she might be trapped now, is what you're saying. She has no boats
Right.
to put her 150,000 Dothraki on.
Right.
What the?
Which may have been the plan all along. Hey, let's.
I have to
Get
know,
trapped in a-
what are the Dothraki doing right now?
They're going to start mining for dragonglass, apparently.
Well, that's what we said. That's not what she said. But even then, I mean, $150,000 Dothraki can't all be chipping away at a mountain. I mean, I guess they could, but they got to be getting so bored.
Yeah. Well, they're probably having lots of sex.
That helps.
Dothraki?
I mean, they do love to have sex, but did they bring that many women along? I mean,
They're probably doing something that we don't know yet.
Oh, maybe they're sneaking around?
Maybe.
I hope so. We got to get something out of this. The Lannister army is now a fearsome force, and I guess that would be primarily Randall Tarley's doing.
Yep.
I don't have any idea what's coming next. Game of Thrones has done it to me again. I don't have a fucking clue. At some point, we got to have some kind of ground battle.
They put Dany like in this position of like immense power, and like, oh my god, she's just gonna roll over them.
But of course not.
But then she can't.
Right.
Right. Yeah, Dragonstone is an island. I just looked it up the map.
Where it is?
It's on an island.
Yeah. All right.
Huh.
I can accept that.
I have the map open, but I can't seem to find it.
I mean, it's not far from land, but it's out on an island. It's out in the narrow sea. It looks like.
Okay. All right. I accept that. And so Grey Worm, he's with the Unsullied. He's got to get back to Missandei so they can reunite, and it'll feel so good. But they have to march across land now. Is that going to be a problem?
What? Marching across land?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now you have them at Cashley Rock.
They have no provisions.
They're going to have to march across.
Yeah, but
I mean, they're going to have to march across, the Reach.
But the Lannister army
where
isn't
Randall Tarley
there.
is. Yeah, where Lannister army is.
But they're not there.
They're in the Reach.
All right. So they could catch up to them.
Unless they go through the mountains, I don't know.
I don't know. It's not looking good.
I guess they could go through the mountains. It's not looking good. You're right.
And Jon still doesn't have any kind of army to offer. I mean, at last count, for at least Northmen, we're talking a couple thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe a few, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 since more houses have joined his cause. Do we know anything about the size of the Erie's army?
It's pretty big. I mean, the only house that had sworn to Dany from that area was the Tyrells. Now they've lost the Tyrells.
Right. Oh dear. She's going to have to unleash the dragons. One of them's probably going to die.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she really didn't want to, be the Queen of Ashes, but I think she's going to have to be.
Yeah, that's true. She might just have to raise it all to the ground.
Suck it up.
Raise it to the ground.
R-A-Z-E. Raise it to the ground. It's funny, isn't it? Okay, well, let's back up a little bit, Kevin. I did have some discussion topics that aren't quite so bleak. First of all, I want to get into, real Loremaster stuff. Loremaster Kevin kind of specialties. Okay. So first of all, episode 1 of the season, I want to talk about the scene with the Brotherhood Without Banners, who I hope we see again soon. Was that episode 1 or 2?
Yes.
I don't even know anymore. It's all a blur. But we saw the Hound. The Hound had the visions in the flame, but he saw the family that he had fucked over big time, and then it looks like they killed themselves, the man and his little daughter. And he was feeling bad, which was great to see. The Hound is a fully formed human being now. But they did make this whole point of him digging a grave for the family, and I was wondering if you thought that might in any way be a book reference.
It actually was. It was one I'd written down for you that we never talked about.
Good. Tell us everything.
All right, so let me just tell you what I think about that stuff. Okay, so first off, the Hound finding the people was really sad. I also found it very funny that him seeing in fire, the visions was kind of ironic because he's kind of avoided fire his whole life, and it could have been the key for him to get out of what type of life he was in. He could have went into ministry, or he could have been a red priest or something. But okay, so the illusion that they're alluding to is in the book, Brienne is looking for Sansa, and she goes around and she gets to a place. I guess maybe the place that she went to is escaping me right now. Anyway, so she gets to the place and she's talking to kind of a guy who is kind of like the character last season that the Hound was with, just like a minister.
Okay.
And when she's talking to him, she notices a guy out digging a grave that's big with a hood and kind of matches the Hound's description in size. So a lot of people have said the Hound is the Gravedigger for the longest time. And that was kind of allusion to the book, the plot details of him digging the grave.
Was there any reference to her thinking that he resembled the Hound in size, or was that simply what readers took out of it from the character's description?
Just what the readers took from what she described. Because, I mean, it's a pretty spot-on description of the Hound, other than the scars on his face, because she doesn't really see them because of the hood.
In the book, had the Hound and Brienne had that big fight?
No, there's no fight for Brienne and the Hound in the book.
So what happened to the Hound? I mean, I know that's kind of big spoiler territory for us super-duper slow book readers.
Super-duper slow book readers. All right,
why would the Hound be missing?
Well, the fighting that happens in the tavern that happens in the episode 1 of season 4.
Is that where Arya kills Polliver?
Do you remember that one? Yeah, it's a little different in the books. A bunch of different things happen. Okay. So, anyways, the Hound gets wounded by some mountain men at the crossroads, because that wasn't at the crossroads, and that was a completely different end where it happened. So he gets wounded, and then Arya abandons him, like just while he's dying. I think they're in Trident, but she does like almost exact same and denies killing him.
Okay, that's it.
So
sort of the big difference. It just wasn't with Brienne.
Yeah, it just wasn't Brienne, and Arya leaves him right there in the Trident. So when Brienne, I remember now. Okay, when Brienne goes to the Quiet Isle looking for Sansa, she meets an elder brother there, and she starts talking to him like the Septon, and they start talking about raids that the Hound had done, because like the Hound has rumors that the Hound had led hundreds of outlaws across the Trident. But a bunch of different reports, but that's not true because you know who the Hound was with, but that's how rumors start in Lord.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But as she's there, she sees, that's when she sees Sandor.
Okay. All right. So you do
everyone thinks
then
that the Hound is the Gravedigger.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
That was definitely an illusion.
You think they put it in there on purpose?
Of course.
Because I figured they must have, right? I mean,
yeah.
They went through such an effort to get it in there. Okay, cool.
It was a major throwback to the book. Yeah.
All right, so I wrote.
They're doing a lot of that. This season.
Well, yeah, Nymeria. Let's talk about that one. All right, so Nymeria didn't actually disappear as long as she did in the show, correct?
In the book, she shows up a lot in Arya's dreams. Like she wargs to her. Arya saw Nymeria pull her mother out of the river after her throat's cut.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. Like, so you know that Nymeria is doing that stuff. So you don't really see Nymeria, you see it through Arya's dreams.
But they haven't
there's
been
a bunch
reunited.
of rumors. No, they haven't been reunited. There's a bunch of rumors about a wolf pack led by a dire wolf going throughout the Vale.
So, what do you think the deal is with Nymeria, having that reunion with Arya and then turning her back?
Well, I mean, Arya said it. She said, "That's not you."
All right. Well, who is it?
Well, that was a throwback again. Like I'm telling you, there's a bunch of throwbacks this season that if you got to pay attention, you're going to get them.
Mm-hmm.
During the first season, Arya is talking with Ned, and Ned tells her, "You're going to end up being this guy's some princess or queen. You're going to marry a prince and be a princess." And she tells him, "That's not me." So when she's talking to Nymeria, she's like, "Come with me, come up here and be with me at this." And then when Nymeria leaves, she basically says the same thing. Like, instead of "that's not me, that's not you. That's not who you are now." Nymeria is now a free, wild, wolf roaming the lands. And she's no longer the Arya either. She's someone else completely.
Oh, that's a different interpretation than I had about her saying that's not you. I thought it was more like, Nymeria, you're being kind of funny, but, that's not the real you, turning your back on me. So something implied of like, well, we'll figure this out later. But you're saying she's
basically
saying like,
saying you're no longer a pet. You no longer belong to me.
I see. So you don't think we'll ever see Nymeria again?
I don't think we'll see Nymeria again.
Aw.
Not this
sad.
season, at least. Yeah.
Kevin's brought sadness to me, babe.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. It's just going too fast. You're not going to have Nymeria saving her now.
Right, we're already halfway through the
that's
season.
what I thought we would see. She'll get in trouble at some point, and Nymeria will jump out of nowhere and open someone's throat up.
Hopefully.
Maybe next season.
When the White Walkers come.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nymeria will save her from a White Walker and then die, just like all the other dogs.
She'll turn into a wolf walker.
We haven't seen that happen yet. Oy.
A dire wolf walker.
Okay, so now that we've had episode 3, this question is...
hold on.
Oh.
Hold on one second.
You have more about Nymeria?
We talked about the Hound and we talked about Arya, so I want to bring up something that has happened in this series that I noticed.
Okay.
But maybe some people haven't. All
All
right. So do you remember early on when Arya and the Hound are going together, going out stuff, and Arya gets really mad at him about killing Micah, and she tells him how he kills without mercy.
Right.
Right. And so she gets really mad at him about that. Well, on the episode where you saw the Hound and you saw him showing mercy to those people and digging graves and putting them in it, we saw Arya at the beginning of this series, at the beginning of the show, before the credits even came up, killing 50 people with no mercy. So it kind of flipped. Arya is now killing people with no mercy, and the Hound is the one who is showing great remorse for the people who have died because it's something he might have done.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong in them having sort of that, that converse trying to illustrate that.
Well, that's nice of you, but what are you saying then?
But Micah didn't do shit. And the Freys, there might have been a few of them there that really were just uninvolved in everything horrible that the Freys have done. But House Frey was full of evil. They had done a lot of bad shit.
They all deserve to die.
Not even, it's
Micah
not only Micah. She also got mad at him for taking the money from those people.
Well, they were good people.
But he was showing no mercy in those time periods, and now she's doing almost the same thing.
But she did save the women. She didn't kill the women. She's not as bad as the Hound was, but she could keep getting worse.
Right.
That's possible.
Her running into the Lannister men and not killing them was also showing some restraint on her. But I just feel like she was killing without mercy in that episode, and the Hound was showing mercy, which was the exact opposite of what we saw from the very beginning when they were together.
Interesting.
What did you think about Arya's interaction with Hot Pie?
I thought it was funny. Another throwback to earlier episodes.
Yeah, but she was kind of a dick.
No, when she said, he asked her if she had made any pies, and she's like, 1 or 2. Remember, she had made the pie with the phrase in it last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't actually think of that. But
she had put the phrase in a pie.
That's true. I guess, a joke, but she just seems so... She didn't want to engage him in conversation. Although maybe that's just Hot Pie.
Maybe it is.
She's hardened.
She is.
Hot Pie also had a throwback. He talked about Brienne being a knight because she was wearing armor, which is something he said in season 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He recounted that time. I thought that was pretty cool to start giving some news. I was surprised that Arya didn't know that Jon was back.
Who would she have heard it from?
Anybody.
She's been in Bravos.
She's been in the Twins.
Right, but the phrase, how long was she there for?
At least 2 weeks.
I guess.
A fortnight, perhaps.
I don't know. Maybe they don't talk about that.
I guess. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird, but... So she's turning north. She didn't make it there in time for Jon to leave. She didn't make it there in time for Bran to arrive, but maybe next episode she'll get there?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's in the preview. We didn't watch it.
I can't wait.
All right. Anything else, or should I ask you my next question?
Anything else? Let's see. Not yet.
All right.
Just asking us questions.
So here's. We talked about this in after episode 2. We talked about how Euron was going to bring a prize, or maybe that was episode 1. Son of a bitch! It's all going so fast. Yeah. All right. So episode 1, Euron said, "I'm going to bring a prize." In episode 2, he went and captured Ilaria.
Right.
But in between all that, he needed something. He was going to help her, Cersei, win the war. Ilaria did not seem like an obvious answer to me. So I was thinking, well, maybe they're finally going to bring in this magic dragon horn that Kevin was always talking about.
Yeah, they haven't introduced it in the show yet, so I don't think they're going to use that.
Right. Instead, they've built a dragon-killing ballista.
Right.
So you don't think we'll see the horn? I mean, obviously it's not the gift. The gift was Ilaria, but Euron could still have some tricks up his sleeve. Do you think Euron is, for lack of a better word, magical?
He has to have something. I just Okay, so here's another thing we had talked about in the past when they had never showed Victorian, who is another one of Euron's brothers.
Right.
But what they've kind of done is they've kind of taken the Euron character and the Victorian character and kind of put them together. Euron himself in the book is very cerebral, very.
What?
He likes to play. He plays mind games with people. Victorian is the one who attacked who attacked Castle Rock, who burned the fleet, stuff like that.
Interesting.
That they attributed to Euron in the show. So they've kind of taken Victorian and Euron and combined them as characters. Because Victorian is the one that is the sea commander. He's the one that does that. And he kind of has a little bit of magic on him. And so does, and Euron has the silence. He calls his ship that because everyone on the ship, and they showed it in episode 2 when they captured the ship. Did you notice before Theon jumped off the side, they were cutting tongues off the people laying on the deck, right?
Yep.
That's one of the things he does when he gets a crew is he takes their tongues so they can't talk.
What a nice guy.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, but he plays those mind games throughout the whole entire the time that you know him, and he's kind of taking that and combining, like the way he talks to Jaime and Cersei. Mm-hmm. They kind of take that and combine it. Like he'll come give your uncle a kiss and stuff like that. Was crazy.
He's so gross.
He kind of gets off on that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, gets off. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Is he gonna fuck Yara? What's his plan? He wanted to kill her.
I don't know what his plan is with Yara.
Speculation,
Maybe
babe.
Make her torture her.
I don't know. I feel like the show hasn't been that gross in a while.
So they
might be due.
It might be due for a.
You mean like no rape? I mean,
right. I mean, there's not been any like shocking. Oh my God! I can't believe they did that or they went there.
Yeah.
We're due for that. So, and this last episode was kind of like a happy episode compared to a lot of them.
Was it?
It wasn't happy.
It was happier than usual.
Well, John.
Elena died.
Yeah, but not in a bad way.
Elena. Yeah, she went out like a freaking champ.
Right. She had like the cleanest death of the show.
Matter of fact, I saw someone post, and I don't remember where it is, but they asked, what'd they say? They said, is Jaime a Targaryen? And he said, how can someone be roasted like that and survive?
She's so good.
I don't remember where I saw that, but yeah, that's what they said. That's what they said. I was like laughing.
Oh man.
But she's so good, and now she's gone.
Do you think that plundering Highgarden was the full extent of Cersei's intention to pay off her debts to the Iron Bank of Bravos?
Yeah.
Is it that simple?
That's what the gold was. Yeah, she's getting the gold.
Well, and plus crush her enemies.
Right, she took out another shitty army.
Now they've got Highgarden.
Well,
which is much.
They have the food.
Now they gave Tarly's the control of the Reach. So.
Oh right. He's Warden of the South.
Yep.
Oh, Tarly, oof, I don't know. He almost made the right decision to side with Helena. I mean, he's definitely a dick. I'm not sure if
we know.
Well, he weighed his options.
Well, I know. I'm trying to think, like, long term, does Tarly have it in him to be on the side of actual evil?
I don't know.
Well, to him, he's seeing a foreign invader come with dragons, which he mentioned. You know, they've been captured before by dragons. He's seeing all this different stuff going on that looks bad if you just think about it. You know, Cersei did a good job of painting Dany as someone who kills and murders nobles.
She is.
You know, we know what she was doing. We knew what she was doing, and we knew it was for a good reason. But he doesn't, and she painted it as being really, really bad.
Which part was for a good reason? Blowing up the Sept?
No, not Cersei. I'm sorry, I meant Dany.
Dany.
Oh,
Cersei's done a
killing the
good job.
masters. For
yeah, okay.
But that's the
Painting
difference in
Dany as
that's the difference in nobles and not nobles, is that they see the masters being crucified as a bad thing, or yes, as a bad thing. You know, when everybody else is like, "Wait, hey, they've been like oppressing us for 100 years."
It's also the way news travels.
I'm pretty sure that she was warned against that too by Selmy.
Yeah.
But you know, she was making a point. And I think she's going to fall farther down that rabbit hole too. She's going to fall further and further doing bad stuff because she's going to have to now. I mean, she's going to have to let those dragons go. She's going to have to do something.
Yeah.
And that's going to make the rest of the continent see her as the bad person.
Oh, it's not good.
Not good for her right now.
I was just thinking, like, remember the play that Arya had to go see, which painted Cersei as this loving mother who, you know, would never do anything wrong, and her sweet boy, and, you know, all the stuff that, like, is probably true in Cersei's head, but not to any rational outside observer of any of those situations. But it was, you know, the Starks were portrayed for laughs, and Cersei was portrayed with sympathy.
Right. And then
so
eventually
Dany
people
in,
start thinking of those people as that.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, if Cersei traveled over to Braavos and walked through the town square, there'd probably be a lot of people just cheering for her and being like, "We're so sorry about your son." You know, stuff like that. Or sons and daughter.
Yeah. And I mean, she blows up the Sept, and I mean, she's now anointed queen right afterwards. So I mean, it's just crazy the way that people who are in power get to remain in power.
They're just pushy about it.
As in Westeros, as it is in the real world.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You just got to be pushy and an arrogant bastard or a bitch.
Yes, I guess so. And you have to act like you know what you're doing, even if you don't.
Right.
That's a big part of it.
And say that you're telling the truth.
Lots of confidence in public.
And everybody else is lying.
Yes, absolutely. Always deny. Never stop denying. Although Cersei did. She did stop denying. She was now seen with Jaime in her bed.
Oh my gosh.
We know those people talk. Is that going to cause a big problem for her?
She doesn't care.
Well, yeah, she doesn't.
All of her children are dead.
Yeah.
All the children that she bore with Jaime, and they're gone.
She does need the support of the nobles.
Well, her and Jaime got it on the other night, so maybe she's pregnant again.
Boy, did they. Woo! Right, babe? Woo!
She can have more children.
She could. She was supposed to give some to Loras Tyrell.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You're right. See? Or is she too old? She's probably too old to have children now.
Well, she's not too old, but they might not come out okay. It's mixed in with your brother's DNA and some old eggs.
The age, yeah.
Probably have another Tyrion or a...
Oh, she would freak out if she had a dwarf. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
She would kill it right there on the spot. I don't think she'll get that chance. I still don't think she's going to survive the season. She's doing too well right now. Think about that part. Like, we know Danny was doing so well.
I think Cersei does make it through the season. I'm telling you, I have this feeling that Littlefinger's not making it to the end.
No, I think he'll be there.
I just feel like Sansa is like coming into her own. Like, you saw her yesterday, like walking around, like doing everything she has to do, and she doesn't really need Littlefinger anymore. Littlefinger doesn't
got something
do
up
anything
his sleeve
for her. Like,
well, he needs her, or she needs him for the army that he still is in control of.
But it's Robin who's in control of the army.
Right, but we haven't seen him yet.
Right, but
Baelish
can control him. She can control him.
That's true. Sansa could control Robin.
She could control Robin if she gets the chance.
Unless Baelish has put some mind-washing kind of person in control of Robin who's training him to be this different person.
Well, that was Lord Royce, who would have trained Robin to be a good person.
I think we gave up on Lord Royce.
Well, yeah.
And there's so much to talk about what's going on. You want to talk about my favorite exchange?
Oh, yes.
So it was not the joke about putting a finger in Cersei's butt.
No, it was the first 2 lines of the episode. It was when they meet him, calling him the bastard of Winterfell, and then Jon looks him up and down and says, "The dwarf of Cassidy Rock." The reason I love that so much, because no matter, they've gone so far. You know, here's Jon, who's been the Lord Commander, and he's now the King of the North, and he can still be called the bastard of Winterfell by him. But he's able to just throw it right back on Tyrion, who's also gone really far, who's become the hand of the king, who has been tried for murder, had gone overseas and become the hand of the queen.
Killed a hooker?
Yeah.
This is the first exchange that they had when they very first met also.
Right, right.
Same exact words they had.
They kind of had the exact same type of exchange, yep.
Mm-hmm. I think it was the exact same words.
I just watched that episode again. I don't remember if it was like that. Yeah, I think you're right.
They love each other.
I know, but like that whole entire thing between them was awesome.
Wasn't it? It was really.
Yeah, when Tyrion comes out and tells him he's brooding, that was just
that part was even funnier. And then they brought up the Snarks and Grumpkins again.
Yeah, the Snarks and Grumplins. They talked about when Tyrion talked about Blackwater, and Davos was on the other side of that one.
Yeah, that was cool too.
He lost his sons in Blackwater.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, Tyrion lost his nose, or he would have if it was like the book.
But the best part of that whole entire first scene was the second that Jon Snow says, "I'm not a Stark." What happens?
The dragons
flying over his head.
Oh,
yes.
I know.
Awesome.
What are we gonna do about this?
Mel's saying she brought ice and fire together.
Right. That was a crucial line. Been building for all these years, 20 years, since the book came out. A Song of Ice and Fire. So the key to all of this, Melisandre doesn't seem to know everything. So the key to all of this really is Bran, who does seem to know everything. What the fuck is with Bran?
He's seen so much.
Well,
I've seen everything.
Why is he talking like that, first of all, Kevin?
I think you nailed it. Jeff, when you were talking about the Watchmen.
Oh, thank you.
How you just lose your humanity once you see all the evils that people can do. I mean, he sees his sister get raped. He sees his dad get killed. I mean, he sees everything that happens everywhere. I mean, it's kind of hard to keep your humanity when you see that type of stuff.
I can relate to that.
But he is on the side of good. Wait, what? I didn't realize you saw everything, dear.
If anyone needs an all-knowing scout, that would be Danny.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, he's not. I guess Bran's not really a Stark anymore.
Well, they're not going to rent him out.
I said a scout, like someone who knows what's going on, because he's already gotten beaten by not having good scouts a couple times now, letting the ships get taken at the middle of the sea, letting her Unsullied get stuck in the castle.
Does Bran see everything in real time?
It's kind of hard to explain the way they explain it in the books, but I think he can see everything. He can see everything that's going to happen, everything that has happened, so he would see that they happen. I don't think he can change the time, though. I don't think he can change it.
Now, in episode 1, he was wooding without wood. What's up with that? I mean, can he just do that now? Now he's the three-eyed raven.
Maybe
he
he
doesn't
was
even have
just
to
warging.
touch a tree anymore. Well, he could have been, I guess, but then working into what?
Warging into a bird or something.
I suppose. What do you think? What's up with Bran's powers?
He just has them. I don't think you need the weird. I think you just need to be near the trees to do it. I don't think you need to be like actually in
Touching?
them.
You don't have to be touching it anymore.
A lot has changed.
When you're the three-eyed raven.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
right.
maybe he does need to be touching it. Maybe he was warging, like you said, and he just had information.
Maybe. I just feel
Or
like
maybe
he
just be
should have.
close to them.
He should have given Sansa some better news. He should have been like, "Oh, and Jon's gonna get the dragon glass." I mean, that would be good.
Well, he did say he needs to see John, or he asked about John, so I think
Yeah.
he's going to tell him.
Yeah, but now they're not in the same part of the world again. I can't even say for sure that that revelation will happen this season.
Well, we do know John. I mean, you don't watch previews, do you?
No.
You don't. Did you watch the preview for like season 7? Like season 7's coming up. Is what you see.
Oh yeah, we watched some of those.
Well, we saw in one of the previews John up north, so we knows he goes back north.
Yeah, I suppose he was wearing like the furs and stuff, like the Brotherhood was.
And he was fighting the White Walkers, the whites.
All right, so John will get back north. That's good.
Right.
I'm
Now,
sad
if
we
he
didn't
goes
see Arya.
if he goes through Winterfell, I have no clue.
It's hard to imagine he wouldn't. I mean, someone's got to bring a truckload of dragonglass back. John can lead that parade. They didn't travel with that many people that we know of. Maybe the
There's a
Dothraki will
boat.
help.
There's a boat out there. He's probably brought 100 people or something.
I also want to point something out, and it's something I really don't want to happen, but it's kind of undeniable. I think it's Dany and Jon are going to hook up because there's electricity in those scenes. There's electricity in those scenes was just off the charts.
No, I don't.
You know?
No.
Like he walks in the room and like just looks her up and down, and she kind of has the same look at him.
I didn't feel it.
It may just be them. May just be the two.
It's just because they're two hot people.
Yeah, Kit Harington is hot, and Dany's hot. So
Tell me if I'm crazy, but in that scene with Dany and Jon in the throne room, I actually thought Jon looked a little like peaked, like he just didn't quite look healthy.
He had clay-like color.
Yeah, maybe it was just bad lighting.
That's what happens when you travel and travel. That's what happens when you travel by sea.
Now he's got the
You get
rickets.
seasick. But I'll tell you who did not look sick, and that was Varys. He had a sick tan. Did you see how tan he was?
Yes.
He's that tan in real life too.
Well, I mean,
He must be going in the tanning spray tan.
but if you're going to do something like that, you got to get that signed off on for the show. So it must have been, maybe it was just like, well, they spent months
the
out on a
beach.
boat.
They're at the beach now.
Well,
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
at the
he
beach.
was on a boat in the middle of the ocean, so yeah.
You get tan doing that, just standing there all day, watching the water.
Sure.
And then the other thing I really liked was when Davos is hitting on Missandei, and she like kind of like, yeah, I'm done. He was like a little bit hitting on her.
Didn't
He was
hit
like,
on a Sunday.
Hitting
he was
on
just
her?
he
being
did
nice.
too. Yes, he did.
You do not know your sexual
He's like-
chemistry.
He said, "Where are you from?" And she said where she was from. And then he's like, "Oh, that's really great. Pine trees and butterflies and stuff." And she's like, "Uh-huh." And like, is out of there. Like, I'm done. I'm gone.
I think
Like,
he was just
I got a
trying to be
boyfriend.
nice.
No, he
Strike up
was
conversation.
A fatherly type. That's what I
He
thought.
knows
That's not how
he
she
cannot
took
get
it.
her.
That's not how she took it because she like shut him down quickly.
I thought that she was just shutting him down because she didn't want to speak to him because she's the hand of the queen and she doesn't want to have any interactions with him.
Well, he was the hand of the king.
Yeah, I know, but he's the onion knight.
Well, they don't recognize him as a king. It was sort of a tense meeting. I mean, despite Tyrion being there, Missandei was just like, all right, give us all your weapons. And then they took the boat away, which I still think was hilarious, just watching the Dothraki in the background picking up a boat and walking away. I really enjoyed that part. But yeah, I mean,
And when
she
they
was
took
not
their swords
friendly.
away, that guy was just like,
I can't believe Jon gave up Longclaw to
I
the
know.
Dothraki. I hope he
I
gets
was
it back.
expecting him to say, take care of it or something.
Yeah. Not one scratch on it, like Han Solo and shit.
Uh-huh.
So is John gonna be there when Jorah shows up?
Does that...
Well, they haven't met, but of course it's that father thing again. The same reason Sam was all taken with Jorah, because they knew Jor. Jor, Lord Commander Mormont.
What is Jor going to think about Jon? He's going to be all
he
jealous.
sees him have
Jor's
his
dead.
sword.
You
He
mean Jorah?
may be a little upset.
Oh, that's right, when he sees Longclaw. That's true. But would he be upset? Would he care anymore?
No.
He's got bigger fish to fry.
He's happy to be alive.
I don't think he's going to be fighting much anymore, do you? I mean, his body's kind of fucked.
And maybe he'll just direct the army.
You said erect.
I said direct.
I know what he wants. Oh. Did you say direct?
Direct.
Okay.
I didn't
I guess
say
I
erect.
just heard what I wanted to hear because Jorah still wants Dany bad.
She is not going to be with him.
You don't think she's going to fuck him now?
No.
But the stone cooties are gone. I know I'm covered head to toe in scar tissue, but I did it all for you, baby.
She did command it.
Yeah. He did it. He accomplished his mission. Mm-hmm. And she got rid of what's-his-nuts. That dude that we've already all forgotten.
Dario?
Delario?
Dario.
Dario. Yeah,
Dario Naharis.
She got rid of Dario. She don't have no one to fuck no more.
Yo,
Maybe she's saving herself for Jorah.
No.
Kevin? He's even older in the books, right? That's my recollection.
Jorah?
Yeah. I feel like he was portrayed as
younger.
an even older man than Ian Glenn is.
And
Is he like
she's even
65?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they don't give an actual age, but yeah, like Kevin was just saying, she's even younger. I mean, she is like 13 or something when she gets married off, and he is this old dude.
I had an old dude pick up on me once.
Recently?
No.
Oh.
When I was in my 20s, I was like 21, and this old guy, he was like 70, would always come in to where I would work and ask me to go for a ride with him in his he had like a convertible old Mercedes topless car.
Topless.
I never went. It was weird. He had a cat named Mr. French.
If you had gone, you never would have come back.
Maybe not. No, he was a little guy. He was like Mr. Magoo kind of.
That's how he lures you in.
Really?
That's how he gets his prey, by looking, innocent and harmless.
He was like a very smart little man.
Exactly. Very smart.
Maybe I would have been rich.
Maybe it would have been his fucking carpet.
All right, back to the Game of Thrones.
All right, gosh, is there anything that we didn't talk about yet that we should have? Let me take a quick look at my notes here. How about your notes, Kevin? Jennifer doesn't have any notes.
My notes are in my brain, motherfucker.
Oh, there was my theory. Well, not my theory, but there was my one thing about Theon.
Oh, yeah.
I did think about something that happened in the first episode. The guy who's running south, the one that Ned has to kill. The whole reason they go out to head him. He starts talking about the White Walkers. Remember?
Yeah.
Nobody believes him. Nobody believes him, including John, who was there.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to think when he's telling people about the White Walkers that he sounds as crazy as that guy did.
That's a bummer. You don't want
he has to realize that, right?
He did abandon the wall also. Saying
no, he didn't.
He should be beheaded.
Okay. He died.
He died. His watch ended.
But
that's another thing. Do you remember when Davos was bringing that up and he's like, shh, Ixnay, stop.
Yeah, we were talking about that today. Why do you think that is? What's the big deal about people knowing he came back to life? He should be, I don't know.
Maybe nobody will believe him.
Bragging about that.
He needs something because Daenerys has 852 titles. And he's got one.
And 3 dragons.
And 3 dragons. And he's got no dragons. He's got a wolf somewhere.
He's king in the north, not king of the north.
Yes. Yes, he is.
I guess. So a couple more things, though. Olenna, I don't know why I can't say that name tonight. Olenna admits to murdering Joffrey. So how do you think Cersei takes that?
Oh, I know. I can't wait to see.
Well, like I was asking Jennifer last night, I can't say for sure that Jaime would actually tell her.
Yeah, but you know what she didn't do? She didn't let him know that Littlefinger helped.
True. Well, she was excited to take credit for it. Why share it with Baelish? She doesn't.
She's.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't need to cause that kind of trouble.
Plus, she gets all the glory.
She gets all the credit.
Yeah, she wants that credit. And she did put it in the cup. That was the riskiest part of the job.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
But do you think Jaime will tell Cersei? Actually deliver that message?
I don't think he will.
Okay.
I mean, Tyrion is pretty much the one that she thinks did it, and he's mad at Tyrion for killing their dad. So, is there really going to be a way for Jaime to like forgive him just because he didn't kill their son? He killed their dad still,
right?
I think he always knew he didn't kill Joffrey.
Cersei?
Jaime always knew that Tyrion did not kill Joffrey.
Right, but he was pretty ticked off that he killed Tywin.
I don't know why. What the hell?
I don't know.
Why does anybody care?
Can't explain that one, babe. Well,
now they got to do the work, maybe?
We may never even see whether or not Jaime tells Cersei, because maybe it doesn't matter by some people's point of view. Maybe, we got so much, we're skipping over things like Randall Tarley helping draw up battle plans. Maybe we just won't see those little details of
we'll see it.
How Jaime explains Olenna's death.
Something. We'll see something about it.
Maybe.
That's too big to leave.
Will Ilaria get out?
No. She has to stay there and watch her daughter die and then rot in front of her.
I'm sorry, let me rephrase. Will Ilaria escape?
No.
Okay. Like, I knew Cersei wasn't going to just be like, okay, well, your daughter's been dead for 3 weeks now, you can go.
Why haven't we seen the Shame Nun? Why haven't we seen Septa Unella?
No, because, like you said, well, you missed it when they said the torch. Cersei wants her to watch her daughter, like, just decompose right there in front of her.
No, Septa Unella is what you were saying, the Shame Lady.
Yeah, doesn't need her. She did exactly what she needed.
What?
You sit here and watch your daughter die and then watch her rot.
Kevin, we're talking about two totally separate things.
What are you saying?
Septa Unella.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Shame Lady.
The Shame Lady, yeah.
Okay.
We saw her at the end of season 6 getting, I don't know, diddled or whatever by the mountain.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Maybe they'll just save her for the season finale and we'll just see her, like, with pieces missing, and then we'll cut to season 8.
Maybe.
I think it was implied that she's gone now.
You don't think we'll see her again, even? Oh. That would bum me out.
I want to see what happened to her.
Yeah, me too. She could be the bride of Frankenstein, like you were talking about. Instead of Ilaria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Unella could be the one.
Maybe he'll just have a string of them.
Keeps breaking them.
Right. Me break.
All right, I feel like we're losing a little steam, so I'm going to throw this one at you.
Got all of it.
And then I think we should call it a night, unless you have more big topics.
No.
All right, so here we go. Maybe you saw this online too, Kevin. I think I saw it on Reddit. And I read a little bit, but then my imagination started going wild. Remember how when the show began, we were all like, well, Ned Stark's going to figure everything out in King's Landing, and Robb Stark, he's going to be the hero that we all have been, cheering for, and he's going to just kick everyone's ass, and he's going to beat Tywin, and it's going to be this amazing fantasy story like we're all used to. But it turned out nothing had to do with either of them motherfuckers, and really, maybe not even the Stark family, since Jon's a fucking Targaryen and whatever. Okay, so with all of that in mind, we could still have a tremendous red herring for the entire arc of the show. As they said in episode 1, the whole thing about Prince Who Was Promised was that it doesn't specify gender. It could be a boy, could be a girl. It's a genderless word, whatever that word is.
Or it could be both. Or it could be both boy and a girl. But go on.
Or it could be neither. So, what if it's Theon?
Theon is still a boy. Just because he doesn't have a penis or balls, I don't know, doesn't mean he's not a man.
He is genetically male, but his functional gender, No,
he's not.
By many definitions, not all definitions, but by some definitions, he could be considered genderless. And we're talking about people that are not super enlightened, about such things. So it could be that just simply having nothing down there, rather than like, well, it could be a boy or a girl, but the word doesn't care. Maybe it's that you should have nothing down there. And if it means you could have nothing down there, then it could also, this whole prophecy could also involve Varys, which I did not see online, but
Varys
that's
is
where
going to die in Westeros. It is known.
But we don't know when.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's almost as silly as the people who think Bran's going to be the Night King.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So you don't think Theon could turn out to be the prince who was promised?
No.
And that everything else, like Jon dies again, Daenerys gets her head lopped off, and next thing you know, Theon like has leashes around 3 dragons and is marching them into King's Landing.
I think Theon's story is going to change dramatically. Since he's still alive, there must be a plan.
Well, right. Isn't it weird that he's still alive after everything he's been through, all his fuck-ups and all of the scrapes he just happens to just barely get out of?
Yes.
And there is something fated for him.
And he's looking pretty buff at the Comic-Con. So...
Okay.
He's not, like, thinning out or anything.
No, I don't think he's going to be the prince as promised.
All right. You heard it here, people. But if it turns out he is,
we'll see.
If it turns out he is, I just wanted that to be out there. I like to take the long shots on my theories.
Yes, you do.
I really do. Sometimes they pay off, but most of the time they don't. Just like any good long shot. It would be amazing if Varys was the prince who was promised. What an ending. Oh.
That would be weird.
You can end the series with like a picture of like at the end of Conan the Barbarian where it's just like Varys sitting on the Iron Throne looking all pensive, trying to figure out his direction. It's like, and 50 years later he died. And then that was the end.
Is that how Conan ended?
I think so. Like he went on many more adventures and had some sons and was an old man.
Well, good for him. I hope that happens to Varys even though he can't have sons.
Right, yeah, he's not going to have sons. Unless he's like laying fish eggs or something.
Oh.
I still love that theory.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so Kevin's saying no, you're saying no, babe. You think it's too crazy? Theon is the prince who was promised?
I don't think so.
All right. Make for a hell of a twist. That's all I'm saying.
It would. Yeah. Most definitely would.
It really would. All right. Well, I think we did some good tonight. I think we should reconvene next week at this time and talk about whatever the fuck happens in episode 4, because it's going to be a lot. Whatever it is, it's going to be big.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
Agreed?
Meeting's adjourned.
What do you say, Kevin?
Sounds like a plan.
I think Kevin was asleep. All right.
No, I was trying to think if I had anything to do next week.
Oh. Well, we have a few different days to pick from, so just don't be busy every day. Yeah. All right, Kevin?
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir, for joining us. Thank you, babe, for indulging me in this extra podcast.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you.
Kevin, you're awesome.
I'll talk to you guys later.
And in the words of one of my favorite characters...
No need to seize the last word, Jeff. I'm sure it would have been very clever.
Oh.